Now to this developing story. A metro area police chief was booked and charged. Former Braselton chief Michael Steffman is accused of using police cameras to stalk and harass people. Channel 2's Michael Dowdna live at police headquarters. And Michael, this was a result of a months-long investigation.
Yeah, and actually GBI says it all started with a tip, and with working with Flock over a months-long investigation, well, that led to them charging the former top law enforcement officer here at Braselton with misusing the technology that is meant to stop crimes. The eyes in the sky are always watching, a tool for law enforcement.
We want our tools to be used for good. But they're just that, they're tools.
But GBI says former Braselton Police Chief Michael Steffman misused Flock's automated license plate recognition systems to harass and stalk multiple individuals.
About a couple months ago, the GBI reached out to us and said they had some tip that there was maybe a law enforcement officer who was using the system illegally.
Josh Thomas says Flock handed over a log that is built into the system, which allows them to see how, when, and why the tech was used.
Every single thing you do in the Flock system is permanently captured and auditable.
However, for some, like Emory professor Rajiv Garg, watching the watcher will become harder as the technology becomes more widespread.
This is a challenge with all tech that becomes more accessible.
Rajiv believes more guardrails need to be in place to better prevent officers or police chiefs from misusing the tech.
If these actions are not taken, we will see the loss of support from the public.
But for those at Flock, they are disappointed that the technology may have been misused, but say they have measures in place to catch the abusers.
Our goal with our system is to help stop crime, whether that is on the streets or in the back office.
Now, court documents do say that Mr. Steffman has bonded out of jail. We did try to reach out to him, calling multiple numbers that we had on file for him. However, none of those phone calls were returned. We're live in Braselton. Michael Dowdna, Channel 2 Action News.
Welcome back, FightFlock.com. In today's video, we're going to cover another case of Flock database misuse by law enforcement. In this case, it's really disturbing because it was a police chief. And this was a case out of Braselton, Georgia, okay, a city about 50 miles east of Atlanta, up 85, Interstate 85 corridor. And this officer, which was the actual police chief of Braselton, Georgia, his name was Michael Steffman. And Steffman, as you saw in the news report, he was actually charged too after there was investigation for his misuse of the Flock database, basically stalking individuals is what it said. I mentioned that in the report. And other research also, he actually, it looks like it was a female involved type thing. So he was stalking a female, a woman, which the news report didn't mention. And it looks like this female, she took out a TPO against Steffman back in August of 2025, okay? So, and basically, obviously, it's domestic, probably a domestic type of case. Obviously, a wife, girlfriend, something like that, or ex-wife, ex-girlfriend. But it did mention he was stalking individuals, so obviously it was probably more than one. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, they actually did the investigation. It was referred to by the Jackson County Sheriff, which Braselton's located in Jackson County. And if you look up, if you go to the GBI website, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, it's basically like an FBI of Georgia. Every state has a different setup. Most states have like state police investigating organizations that do the overall policing of the state. So this is from the website here. I'm gonna hold this up. So basically this is the reasons that GBI will get involved in a case, right? And so if you look at all the reasons, you can go down the whole list there. There is basically, citizens can't make complaints to the GBI, right? It has to be referred to by a law enforcement agency like a police chief or a sheriff or a governor, right? So this is the problem too, is in order to get this stuff investigated, basically it has to be referred to by law enforcement. So basically you have law enforcement investigating itself, and you better hope that they start the investigation. In this case they did, because it was referred to by the Jackson County Sheriff to the GBI, and this Steffman guy, here's his photo here. So the news report showed his mugshot, it looked like, but this is, I like showing this here when they are swearing in here. This was actually his swearing in when he was becoming the police chief. And according to my notes, he was sworn in as police chief back in April of 2025. Actually, it was April 25th, 2025. So he wasn't chief very long and he got in trouble. So that's his violation. His oath. Violation of oath. That's his oath he's taken there. And this is basically, I like showing these pictures better because it shows they are taking an oath that they obviously disregarded. And that's really, to me, is the travesty of all these cases. These guys are taking oaths of office, and they're blowing it big time. So this Steffman guy, it looks like just some information in this case. He was charged, actually, which is a good thing. Usually they just get fired or resign, right? He resigned on November 19, 2025. Just a few months ago, he was actually resigned as a police chief. He was with the department a long time. Looks like 20 years. He was a street cop, basically. He probably moved up through the ranks. He was hired in 2005. So he was there almost 20 years, and then he made the police chief, and then he just really blew it. He basically he blew it badly, and that's a good thing because obviously this lady, again, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, whatever she is, she probably through the court system filed that TPO, a temporary protection order, basically. And then, and it's actually interesting background on that. I got notes here on that. It was actually denied by the judge, right? So the judge actually denied her TPO. So she filed a police report with Jackson County Sheriff, it says here. And the sheriff, to his credit, the sheriff's department, Jackson County, to their credit, got to give credit where credit's due. They filed a GBI, a complaint, right? Basically saying there's something going on here with the police chief, it looks like, of Braselton, right? So obviously they were good enough to do that. And that's the only reason we know about this flock database misuse in this particular case, and really all cases. We have to have a whistleblower, right? We say that over and over. So this looks like, this lady, we don't know exactly what she was to Steffman. We don't know the exact relationship, but it says he stalked individuals in the news report. That means he's probably stalking her new boyfriend or her new lover or whatever, right? I'm sure he's stalking other people involved there. He may have a couple cars too, so he may have to stalk. When they say stalking individuals, it could be he's using 2-3 cars and he's stalking every single one of those cars. He's running all those tag numbers, all those plate numbers through the flock database to see who the heck's messing with his old lady. So basically, he was charged again. It looks like the charges here are. It's pretty good here. There's some significant charges. It looks like stalking, which obviously, right? Harassing, probably, and improper use of the flock database and violation of oath. So basically, he was charged with 4 things here. He had a $13,000 bond. He bonded out. $13,000 bond, that's kind of low. That's kind of low for all those charges. I would say he got a break there. Must be nice to be part of the good old boy system. So he was lucky there. That bond should have been at least 18 to 20, in my opinion. And again, that's probably, he got hooked up on that, I'm sure of that. So again, the problem with all this flock stuff we talk about in these videos is there's got to be a whistleblower, right? And then we talk about the GBI, and at least in my state of Georgia, this is, the problem is it has to be referred to by law enforcement for them to even investigate. So basically, you got the investigators investigating the investigators, right? And us citizens are out in the cold, right? We're stuck with just hoping that this stuff comes to light, hoping that these folks get busted out, and again the violation of the oath. To me, when these guys and gals we talk about in these videos, they're given an oath of office, right? To swear that they're going to uphold the law and the Constitution. To me, that's worse than a criminal. A criminal that commits a crime, they didn't promise to be good. They didn't promise to protect the Constitution. They didn't promise to be good citizens. They're just criminals, right? And they commit crimes. These guys promise to uphold the Constitution, promise to be good, promise to do the right thing, and they don't do the right thing. It's worse than a criminal. I'm telling you right now, it's worse than a criminal. And I know most people in society, our society at least, don't see it that way. I guarantee you probably 90% of our people in our society don't see it that way, but I see it that way. these folks, they're worse than criminals. Again, a criminal doesn't promise to be good, okay? Doesn't make any promises, okay? At least you could respect that, okay? So again, this is a good thing this guy was charged. We have no update on his court case. I'm gonna dive into that. I'll probably find some information, go into the Jackson County court docket, see if I can find his case going through the system there. It's probably in the early stages, more or less. Again, he resigned on November 19, 2025. So again, it's only a few months ago. So he was charged. So that case is in the early stages. It's probably calendar calls, things like that. So it has a ways to go. Again, this is all because of this lady, apparently, obviously ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, made a complaint. She was persistent. She filed a TPO, didn't work. She filed a police report that actually eventually got the case to the GBI, and they started investigating. And then you see the Flock spokesman, Josh Thomas. His name's Josh Thomas. He's always on these videos touting Flock's security and audit trail. Everything's auditable. He says that all the time. Oh, we have an audit trail, and that audit trail is worthless unless there's someone whistleblowing and telling us to look at the audit trail, right? Otherwise, we never know about this, right? So how many more cases are out there that we don't know about? And that's the problem, right? And again, this is these cases are seem to be like a broken record. Over and over, we talk about this abuse and misuse of the Flock database. In this case, the police chief. That's got to top it all. I mean, we've heard about street cops and sergeants and part-time cops and secretaries and whatnot using the Flock database for personal use, but this has got to top it all. The police chief, and he wasn't even on a job 6 months. Again, he was hired as chief in April of 2025, and then by August, 6 months later, he was already in trouble, misusing the database. Right, that's pretty bad. Right, this has got to stop. And I hope you're as mad as I am about this crap here. And again, hopefully there'll be some new rules in place going forward in all of our states when it comes to Flock. Hopefully it gets ruled unconstitutional eventually on the Supreme Court. But we got a ways to go on that, obviously. But we got to keep fighting. Please fight Flock in your neighborhood. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like the video. Again, stay tuned for more info as I get it. I'll bring it to you as best I can, and let you know, just how bad Flock is basically violating our rights. Every day we're being stalked and harassed. Every day we're being stalked and harassed as citizens, right? So, thank you again for all the support out there. Appreciate it, everyone.